we're going to talk about the one and only Iron Maiden. Kick it. Hey, thanks for coming back and clicking on this channel and your subscriptions and all that fun hoo-ha. We're going to talk about the legendary band from the UK, Iron Maiden, formed in England around 1975 with Steve Harris. Had some early lineup things and then called it quits, and then started it right back up again with some new players that few of them remain in the band to this day. An amazing catalog. We're going to start off with what I have of their collection, vinyl-wise, a few CDs, and then we'll go into the concert review of the concert I just saw a few days ago of the Legacy of the Beast World Tour 2022. Yes, Iron Maiden is still around in 2022. And unfortunately in 2022, not that it means a hill of beans to us, the fans or the band, but they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I challenge you, anyone that's into that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame scene, find me another metal band that to this day in 2022 isn't like touring the bar circuit with other heavy metal bands, grouping up to trying to get a big crowd or anything like that. They are playing, Iron Maiden can play stadiums worldwide. I can't think of any other classic metal band that could play worldwide to that amount of people. I saw Judas Priest. They're playing smaller halls. They are amazing, great band. No offense to them, but even the mighty Judas Priest isn't at that level that Iron Maiden is still at with the fan devotion. Crazy, crazy. In Rock Hall, you're just a bunch of jackasses at this point for not putting Iron Maiden in. So CD-wise, the Number of the Beast, I think the first album I bought of theirs as well too. Iron Maiden came to my attention around this time, just after this was released. Of course, you know, MTV used to be really cool and play all kinds of stuff. Headbangers Ball would play some of the stuff off of Peace of Mind, the videos they had there. And of course, the Number of Beast video, a classic one that was. And my friends always talked about like Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. And I always thought, well, that stuff's maybe a little bit too hard for me. You know, I'm going to stick with my REO Speedwagon, Cheap Trick, and Styx. And then, you know, I ventured into Ozzy. Oh, and AC/DC. Loved AC/DC from the start. First time I heard them as a wee little boy, a few years of age. And then really started to get into the harder stuff, which include Iron Maiden. And I listened to them, I'm like, oh, this isn't evil scare. This is good metal. And I just loved Iron Maiden, so got that. A real live one on CD. A real dead one on CD. Somewhere in Time. I just picked this up recently. And then A Matter of Life and Death on CD, and that came with this little dude here. Iron Maiden is a very visual band, obviously, and they always include other, you know, I had a Somewhere in Time poster. That was the first time I saw them, was the Somewhere in Time tour. I think it was one of those like door posters, and it was Eddie. And then I have a cool Live and Death Iron Maiden poster, which I will never get rid of. I'll show you that. That's happening right now as I'm talking over it. I have some action figures, of course, of Iron Maiden. You gotta get Eddie. Probably the coolest band mascot ever. Like something that actually took on where the fans really embraced it. And I can't think of another like mascot that really held the test of time. You know, other bands have them obviously, but they don't come close to being as popular as Eddie. Let's go into the 7 inches. I don't have a lot. These were reissues not too long ago. Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, and Stranger in a Strange Land. Flip side is That Girl. Number of the Beast, I think, is their most popular album. Speaking of albums, let's start showing some of the vinyl. I got this. I believe this is also a repress, but I've had this since like a long time. This is Samson. This is the band that Bruce Dickinson was in before he was asked to join Iron Maiden. So this Iron Maiden record, I did buy the reissue version not too long ago. And I just was like, you know, I kind of want to keep my early pressing copy. So this is a very early pressing of Iron Maiden. We have here Killers. Another great one. You know, it took me a while because my first exposure to the band was with Bruce singing. The Paul Di'Anno stuff took me a while to like grow on me, but now I love it. It is good stuff. I have a lot of like punk rock fans that just love the first two Iron Maiden records. That's it. Anything after like, it's okay. But those first two. Number of the Beast, their biggest selling record. I tell you, this is the perfect record. Besides like 22 Acacia Avenue and Invaders, they're really good songs, but they're not perfect great songs. I thought they reissued this with the songs in another order or something, but I mean, it's a great record. A Piece of Mind, little Eddie being chained up there. Phantom of the Opera with Run to the Hills on it. Lost for Words also. The artwork is just great. Here we go, Live After Death. Great live record. Scream for Me, Long Beach. Wasted Years. One of my favorite guitar, I guess, intros to a song. And another like amazing solo too. Wasted Years, the Summer Time record. Power Slave, another great record with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I actually got to hear them perform that once when I went to see them for the first time in '87. 2 Minutes to Midnight, they used to play this video a lot too on Headbangers Ball. This is the one, Somewhere in Time. To me, a lot of the fans at that time, way back in the 80s, were saying, oh, it's a little too commercial for Iron Maiden. But I loved it, and I just loved every song on it. You know, Somewhere in Time, Alexander the Great. The Loneliness of a Long Distance Runner in grade school and in track, and in high school I ran track, so that was kind of like my little song. But yeah, the artwork, this is a great one. I love this so much. I'm like, I'm gonna go see them, and a friend of a friend was gonna go. My parents were like, all right, you can go. I think I was like 16 at the time. In '87, I went to see Iron Maiden for the first time, which was great. Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of Seventh Son. If fans were thinking that this was like, come on, you're losing it, then they really didn't like this. But how could you not? But I know some of the hardcore fans, they were pretty picky back in the day. No Prayer for the Dying. That's a good one right there. Another reissue of Fear of the Dark. This one I have to listen to a little more because I love the song Fear of the Dark and From Here to Eternity. So yeah, I just need to listen to this one a little more. The Book of Souls. This one again, haven't listened to a lot. You know, I bought it, played it a few times, went to see that tour. You know, they always play tracks off their new stuff. Limited edition, 3006 out of 6000. Iron Maiden's The Empire of the Clouds. This is a Record Store Day release. And last but not least, Senjutsu, the one that just came out. I like it. I have a review for this on the channel. I was pretty good in the review. I was in a good mood. I gave it a good thing. And I was honest. I'm like, you know, when I'm in the Iron Maiden mood, am I going to pull this out? Really, I've only, after purchasing, I think I played it 4 or 5 times. And then since putting it back into the collection rather, I have not pulled it out once. Pulled out some other Maiden records and CDs, but yeah. With time, I probably will. Lord knows I'll probably put out another record. Alright, let's go to that concert. You know, Iron Maiden, just with that 13 studio releases with Bruce singing, it's like, what, like 11 hours of music? So you go see them in concert, they're going to play like 2 hours. So obviously, they're going to cut. They can't play all their songs. They cannot possibly play all your favorite songs. Let's go back to '87 now. Yeah, this is the shirt that they sold in the Chicago show at the Rosemont Horizon, and I bought this one, and I had it framed, but it doesn't really fit. But you gotta like fold it, but it's kind of cool. Living near a big city, you get specialized T-shirts. I don't think they're specializing T-shirts for like Topeka, Kansas. No, you don't get those specialized T-shirts. Hey, I got there early. I was off of work that day. And got there early, got free parking around the United Center, which is impossible. And if I told you where I parked for free, everyone would take it. But it's free street parking. Chicago has like square inches of free parking left. Everywhere's got meters and they're charging you in lots. And oh, it's crazy. Got my free parking, so with that money saved, went to grab some tacos. You got to start an evening with heavy metal. You started with tacos, and that is good. Enjoyed the opening band. A long time, like Norwegian, Neanderthal, jumping on a Frisian horse with a sword, slaying people, kind of Conan the Barbarian music feeling stuff. Female singer, great job. They have been around for a long time. I've never heard them. They're called Within Temptation, and I will probably seek some stuff out from them. They have a long career, a lot of records, so I might start from the early stuff and then work my way to what they're currently doing. But I really like them. Really poppy, but it was good. And our main crowds have chilled out. You know, a long time ago, opening bands kind of got booed a little bit. People wanted to see Maiden. It's a lot like Slayer. People wanted to see Slayer. They didn't want to sit through the opening band. Iron Maiden hits the stage. They do 3 off of Jitsu, which is good. My favorite 3 songs are the first 3 songs on this record, so if I had to pick 3 songs for them to play on this record, I was happy with that. Of course, a lot of people just want to hear just the classics, but I think a lot of Iron Maiden fans grow with the band and they want to hear the new stuff. My favorite song off of this is the second song, Stratego, and that was the second song of the night, so I was pretty happy with that. And then they just start hitting you with all kinds of classics. Revelations, Peace of Mind, that sounded great. Blood Brothers song I'm not that familiar with from Brave New World. I don't own Brave New World, so I'll have to get that. I do have holes in my Iron Maiden collection that I'll have to get. But early on, I noticed Bruce sounded a lot better than when I saw him at the Book of Souls tour. I can't remember how he sounded in '87. But, so I don't know if he's been doing throat stuff or had surgery. I don't know what, but he sounded great. And, of course, on tour, you're going to have on nights and off nights, and it's even when you're at that level of Iron Maiden, is when you're staying at nice hotels and you can fly from show to show, you're still gonna have evenings that you kind of don't want to be on the road, or you're not into it as much, or as a singer your throat's not feeling it. But he sounded great. The band always sounds amazing. From that, they went on Sign of the Cross from the X Factor. I really like that song. I don't have the X Factor, so another record I need to go out and get. Flight of Icarus, I don't know. I didn't major in Greek studies or whatever the hell that is. The concert had everything you want from a heavy metal concert. Lots of flames. Bruce is doing like costume changes. He's going to come out with the flag for the trooper. They're going to, the old days you'd have kind of one set. You'd have one set for the show. The stage would look one way. But nowadays they could make all these changes, either if they're doing a big like TV screen behind the band, or like for instance what Iron Maiden did, like a cloth screen, a big old curtain, they could just pull it aside. Now this is the theme for the next few songs, and pull that aside. And so the stage show, they're a very visual band, like I said. The stage show looked amazing as always. Iron Maiden always gives you the bang for the buck that you're paying, so good stuff. The shirts were a little expensive at $50, so I just went and bought. I didn't know this was a poster. I just thought it was like a 4-page program or something. This was $15, but it actually pulls open to a really cool poster there. Fear of the Dark, beautiful song. Then they went into Hallowed Be Thy Name from Number of the Beast. They seem to play that one a lot live, so that's a good staple of the concert. And then they went into Number of the Beast, and that was like reliving like childhood. And that scream. Next to, what is that, Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who. That's probably the second most powerful scream, is that opening to Number of the Beast there. And then they go in Iron Maiden, of course, paying a little bit of tribute to the early years with that. Then they went to Trooper, Peace of Mind. They came back out, so Trooper's like the first song of the encore. And then they went Klansman. That's from Virtual 11, I believe. And that's one of the Blaze songs. So it's nice that Bruce was like, hey, we can do a Blaze song, putting any kind of ego aside. A lot of bands wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. People only want to play their songs, or the singer only wants to do the stuff that they sang on. But boom, thrown in Klansman. I don't really care for that song that much, but I do want to check out those 2 albums that have Blaze singing on them. And then they went to Run on the Hills. When Run on the Hills kicked in, I knew I could hear it. I wanted to get home. I was doing 2 concerts, 2 nights, seeing another band, have work the next day. I know, getting old sucks. The crowd was a lot of old dudes like me, and a lot of people bringing their kids, which is fun. Show your kid some good music. Growing up today, you got to really search for good music, but you can always rely on the classics. So kudos to those parents bringing those kids, say, hey, look at this heavy metal. These guys are in their 60s and they're killing it. I think the drummer is now 70, for crying out loud. When was rock and roll supposed to go on forever? Who knew, right? And these guys are still killing it. I'd love to go and be like, oh, come on, guys. Time to hang it up here. run to the hills, run to the bathroom already or something. You guys suck. But no, Iron Maiden was awesome, and something tells me they're going to be awesome for yet another record and another tour. I mean, it's just nuts. But if they went out with this, that's fine. But they're not. I think they're doing 2023 in Europe at least. They're doing a tour that pays heavy tribute, which probably means like 4 or 5 songs from Somewhere in Time, which if they bring that to America, hell yeah, I'm going again. I love Somewhere in Time. Anyway, so they did the Klansman, and then I did Run to the Hills, and I ran down the steps trying to get to my car, get the hell out before traffic gets bad. And then, so I missed Aces High, but I've seen them do Aces High before. So all in all, just a wonderful night. Everyone, I had a few friends that went and sat in other areas, and everyone had a great time. Firing on all cylinders, even in their old age. Iron Maiden concert was amazing. There even was a little pit. I think all the kids, like, who their parents brought, were like, "Hey man, let's mosh it up to some of these songs." Little pit at the Iron Maiden show, and it was all a great time. So glad I went. So glad I was like, yeah, let's go check them out on this new tour. And hey, I made it home actually, like by 11 something, right before 11. I was like, boom. You gotta be up for work at 6, so I was happy. Put the head on the old pillow, pet the little doggy, put the old head on the pillow by 11. That's a good night. Thanks for watching.